I have created a cat version of myself. Well, specifically Ezra. But this isn't tracking as well as it does on the computer, but I wanted to record a little intro segment where you could just see how it works. As I'm finishing up the Speedpaint here, I want to tell you about how horrible it has been to do this entire thing. So I think every bit of technology in my control has gone against me. So today this video was late because it just wouldn't export off of the laptop. It just wouldn't do it, and we tried for literally like 3 hours to fix it and edit, and it just wouldn't work. So I ended up having to like put it into Premiere and just speeding up the rigging stuff, which is fine because there was a lot of footage there anyways. But that was all sped up and it wouldn't export, and then we had to set it up again, and like it just and then like it was just awful, and the video files wouldn't work, so we couldn't get it in here to edit, and oh my god, just way too many problems. But I hope it was worth it because there's a little cat now. This also didn't work very well, so sometimes when I'm like actually playing in the physics panel you won't be able to see it, just because OBS wouldn't let me keep the capture there for some reason. So even though it was like displaying and I had it set up, it wouldn't keep it as displayed for some reason. There's also a lot of stuff in here that I like made mistakes with, so some of it didn't actually go to the end product. Like right here you're seeing me play with the lights to make like a jiggle animation, but I didn't end up keeping it because it looked weird and it didn't really work, and they kind of just look buggy because there was like a little glow behind them, and just it didn't work in like practice. And here's the other problem with OBS. Sorry for this random panel that's like up on the screen. I think it stayed there for a little bit, but I don't know, it just like took the physics panel and just made it into another panel that was only up for like a little bit, but it was actually up on the screen for like a half an hour before I realized and was able to turn it off. But you can't really see it because it's speed paint and it's all sped up. I ended up cutting out a ton of the perimeters for this, just because I felt like they weren't super necessary. Like I didn't have the hair and everything, so I mostly tied everything on the body to the breathing movements, because I was going to move the body like the XY movements, but I didn't feel like it was necessary in the end. It also looked incredibly strange for some reason. I don't know, I couldn't get it to look right. I do eventually want to upload some sort of like, I don't know, full rigging thing, but for now it doesn't seem very worth it, because like I don't know, it just like I need to find a better editing setup that allows me to have the videos and doesn't make me just put them onto my iPad, because otherwise they're really long and I'd have to do it in parts as well. Like I wouldn't be able to just upload like, here's me rigging the head, because the head probably took like, it took the most time, so it probably took around like 3 hours to do just the head, you know. I had never done the tilts on the head before this, so that was kind of weird to figure out, and also because it was a cat, I had no real idea like how a cat moved its head, you know, which like you'd think it sounds like self-explanatory, but like it really doesn't. Like how does a cat move its eyes? And obviously because there's like, it's a model, it has to be like exaggerated, so it was really weird to figure out. Also the mouth kept going wrong. Like I don't know what it is, but every time I set the mouth up it went backwards, and when I tried to fix it it would go backwards again. I don't even know how that worked, but like I set it up, and when you open your mouth it would close its mouth, and when you closed its mouth it would open its mouth, so it was completely backwards. And then I tried to fix it like 4 times, so I had to export it, and that's like a really long loading screen. If you know it, you know it, but I had to do that so many times to fix it, and I eventually fixed it, but then I messed up again because I went into the wrong save file and I had to fix it at the end all over again. It was incredibly stressful doing this. So you'll probably see in the footage, I think there's like a bit at the end where like I'm recording it in the actual VTuber studio, but it like just didn't work for some reason. I ended up adding 4 parameters, so there's one that's like fully closed, then there's a little bit closed, well, a little bit open, and then like a midpoint, and then fully open, and that seemed to work okay. I also like had to figure out like the physics of some of these things, because I don't know, I didn't find any like tutorials or like what to even look for like whiskers physics and like ear physics and tail physics and like little tail hanging physics. So I ended up having to sort of guess how it worked, which is why I connected them to the breath at the end. So you can see me try and move the body, but I didn't end up going with that. But I moved like the little star on the tail to just work with the breath, and that seemed to work okay. I don't know. It was weird to figure out, but I think it turned out alright in the end. For the time that I spent on this, you'd think that like spending all day would make it into like more than a 5-minute video, but that's what it is. So we're coming to the end of that now. So I hope you enjoyed, and if you want to see anything more from me, please let me know. I can upload more of this model and anything about that, but let me know in the comments and I'll see you tomorrow.